Hello and welcome to Fish Fingers and Custard, the Explosion Network's Doctor Who after show. This is a special Doctor Who bling 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 TARDIS message. We now know the casting of the next Doctor. Joining me to discuss this, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here. Go watch Sex Education.
I know, right? Weird times. So I'll just read a little bit off Kotaku here. The BBC has announced that Sex Education's Ncuti Gatwa has been cast as the latest, yeah, it says last, but latest star of Doctor Who, bringing the 14th Doctor to the screens in 2023. Quote, they aren't quite the words to describe how I'm feeling. A mix of deeply honoured, beyond excited, and of course a little scared, Gatwa said in a statement released by the BBC. Continuing, this role and show means so much to so many around the world, including myself, and each one of my incredibly talented predecessors has handled that unique responsibility and privilege with the utmost care. I'll endeavour my utmost to do the same. Russell T Davies is almost as iconic as the Doctor himself, and being able to work with him is a dream come true. His writing is dynamic, exciting, incredibly intelligent, and fizzing with danger. An actor's metaphorical playground. End quote. Gatwa, best known for audiences for his role as Eric Effering in the Netflix comedy series, is also set to appear in Warner Brothers and Greta Gerwig's upcoming Barbie movie with Margot Robbie. Will take over the role from outgoing lead Jodie Whittaker, whose final Doctor Who story is set to air late 2022 as part of the 100th anniversary of the BBC. Gatwa will presumably, as per the usual tradition, make his debut as a Doctor at the climax of that episode during the 13th Doctor's regeneration before making his full debut as a Doctor in 2023 under new returning showrunner Russell T Davies. Ash, we'd been theorising for a while. You know, I think last time when we recorded the special, we were like, I wonder when they'll actually announce the casting news, how they'll go about it. Will we have to wait all the way until the special to find out? Then wondering what direction they'll go, considering the feedback, shall we call it, to a female Doctor, and then we've had Russell T Davies returning. I've compared it to J.J. Abrams being brought back to sort of make everyone happy for Star Wars, but this casting, when you woke up and saw it that morning, what do you think?
No, so I didn't wake up. It was, I think it was, what was it? Sunday night, I want to say Monday.
Oh, that's true. It was at night. It was at night.
Yeah. I was watching a movie for content or something, and then I checked my phone afterwards. I saw you had retweeted the story of Ncuti getting the role, and I made an audible noise to the news, so much so that my mother came in and checked that I was all right.
Did you tell your mum?
No, I'm like, oh no, I'm fine. It's such a dumb thing, like, to react. Like, I don't think I've reacted to that way to anything else before. It's very exciting. It was an odd way for them to release the news. I believe Ncuti put something up on your Instagram, 2 hearts plus the cross plus a blue square, before the news by the BBC had even been broken. So. It seems like it's interesting that there wasn't any fanfare or anything. It was just press release, kind of anticlimactic to a certain degree. But yeah, I think it's an interesting choice. I think definitely not who anybody was predicting, but now that you see it, it's that's an inspired choice for the next Doctor. So yeah, I'm very excited on the potential of what they could do with this version of the Doctor.
Yeah, I'm really keen. I think this is great. Obviously, he's someone who has a lot of charisma and liveliness, I guess, on Sex Education. So I think, not to say he's going to be playing the exact same sort of role as the Doctor, But it would be really weird if suddenly it was a more dour. I definitely feel this means it's going to be a more upbeat version of the Doctor, that's more in line with, you know, the Russell T Davies sort of David Tennantness, and then, you know, leading into the Matt Smith, which I would say is probably the height of the New Who popularity, sort of those two. So audiences definitely, and I would say audiences and US audiences a lot like that more type of Doctor. Like that's when Doctor Who broke into US markets the highest, when you had these sort of younger, lively versions of the Doctor rather than Christopher Eccleston or Peter Capaldi sort of thing. Not saying I don't like them, but
No.
And then the Jodie Whittaker thing, as we discussed before, I'll say this a million times over, I have no problem with Jodie Whittaker. I really like her Doctor. I just think the writing was just
You
not
did
there.
no favors, yeah.
Yeah. The writing really let down her potential as the Doctor, I think, is what the problem there. So, so they've known since February is what the other thing is. So it's been kept a secret since then. Russell T Davies, I saw this morning, I was reading another story where he said that they had put out a bunch of rumors to sort of get people off the trail. I'm going to presume one of those was the David Tennant thing, because that was like grabbed by a lot of people for a while there. He did say that they were not the people who started the James Corden story, but that was one that some people thought was a real thing for a while, and I was like, no. I mean, that would be really weird.
I mean, he quit his talk show. It's like maybe he it.
I mean, I saw someone else be like, he can't. He's already been a Doctor. I was like, yeah, but I mean, Peter Capaldi was also a guest in an episode and then became the Doctor. So like, he was in the Fires of Pompeii or whatever with Tennant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
They
obviously
made
it was the Doctor later.
story point, right? From memory.
Yeah, they made it like a bit. I mean, they've made it a bit a few times over, even with Matt Smith talking to Tom Baker, like this whole seeing faces thing. I don't know. It's a whole thing, but yeah, I'm keen. I'm really wondering now, like, is this I don't know. Like, I feel like the way BBC's been talking about it, like all the press releases, everything, it's really, you can tell, and it makes sense. You can tell that they're like, this is like, we're bringing Russell T Davies back. We're not like rebooting, but you can tell they're sort of like, we're rebooting, like
free starting point.
Yeah, this is a fresh point. We're literally bringing back the guy who rebooted Doctor Who for modern audiences to do that again. Like, do it again, refresh it, bring it back. So, all the interviews I've seen, because there was also like I guess it was like, was it a BBC radio? Like, there was on some sort of giving interviews on something. Like, I don't know if that was like a BBC carpet thing. I don't know what event it was for. I didn't.
So they were at the BAFTAs. The TV
the BAFTAs. Right, the TV BAFTAs. Yeah, cool. So they're doing that the day after the news broke or whatever. Ncuti seems real happy. Russell T Davies seems really enthused about everything, which is good to see also, because he generally seems enthused, not I got dragged back. Yeah. It seems, because he left obviously, and then like if he chose to leave because he wanted to, like he'd had enough of Doctor Who and whatever else. So like you don't want to see him not enthused and just feeling like he's coming back to because he got nagged or the money or
for the money,
I don't know, something like that. It generally seems like he's excited about the casting choice and just coming back to Doctor Who. So presumably that means he's also got a bunch of really cool ideas and direction for the show. And I mean, he's had a long time off. He's had a lot of stuff's happened in the world. I mean, I'm sure there's like he's done a bunch of different projects since. The other thing I had, all these, the first Black Doctor, incorrect. Yes. If you see that story, technically incorrect. I just want to
lead Doctor, I guess.
Yes, the correct wording is he will be the first lead Black Doctor. We have had I don't know what her official name is. Just
Fugitive Doctor is the one that I've seen.
Yes, okay.
Go around a lot.
Yeah, so we've had the Fugitive Doctor, who I can't remember the actress's name, sorry, but
Jo Martin, I want to say off the top of my head.
Yeah, that sounds about right. who's obviously been in those couple episodes, who's from the Doctor's future or past. I mean, yeah,
it's one or the other.
It's one or the other. So
those are the two options.
Yeah, over two options. So, yeah, I'm keen. Obviously, we will. When did I estimate? I think October, right? Yeah, is the
centenary. I think it's interesting his casting and what that could potentially mean for this series as a whole. Like, I think one of the most shocking things out of this entire story is apparently he's 29 years old. Because he doesn't look like it, and obviously just been playing a teenager and sex education last.
Ace of Butterfield's also like a lot older than.
Yeah, but
I think it's also that thing, like Sex Education is a show about teenagers dealing with sex, but they can't. So everyone on that show is obviously an adult. Like,
but yeah, I guess the question for me is: are they going to be leaning younger? Like, are they aiming for a younger audience with this younger Doctor? Are they going more in the line of like the Matt Smith, where it's like they're all like in their 20s and they're all kind of hanging out and having a good time? You know what I mean?
I presume so, and I think there's totally nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think the only people who get upset about that are the ones who like to shit on anything other than really old Doctor Who episodes and serials and whatever else. But not to say there's anything wrong with an older Doctor. Obviously, Peter Capaldi was great. But
he was great.
Yeah, in a world where like no one can argue about this. That's the thing. Like, I feel so bad because for the big Jodie Whittaker haters who are just being sexist and stuff, I like unfortunately have to like lean in their camp now and go like her run was not good, right? But I just feel bad saying it every time. And Doctor Who now is at a place where I was thinking about this. This last season, you know, or even any of these specials, my care factor, my excitement for watching Doctor Who was pretty much non-existent. You know, I'm sure you can echo the same things. Like you're watching it. Like I feel absolutely nothing towards it, and I haven't felt that since like the last time I was excited about watching Doctor Who episodes. It was Peter Capaldi literally acting his ass off by himself, wandering through a bunch of fucking. I can't remember what that run of episodes was.
Hell.
Yeah, those
something
ones.
in Hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that was probably the last time I was like, holy shit, this is good shit.
Ever since Clara flew away on that spaceship, it's been
that. But I mean, there was a point there was years there where like I was like so excited by everything. I started watching when Tenet was on, obviously, and then I went back and watched the Eccleston stuff and, you know, caught up or whatever. But like Tenet through to Capaldi was great. And then my sort of died up. So it feels so bad to say, but I am now at a point where the casting, Russell T Davies, as much as I'm going to compare it to the J.J. Abrams thing until I'm proven wrong, like I am half a mind of this is really exciting. Hopefully he can reignite my love for this show and everything like that. But I'm also like a little bit trepidatious of
been burnt before.
Yeah, been burnt before. Sort of thing. But I mean, like I was saying, like there's this, I remember once I went like on a road trip and it was when they were doing like the Matt Smith astronaut, whatever season that was, right? You know, the silence and shit like that. I had to go on this road trip and I didn't have time to watch the episode because it was going to air later or whatever. So I pirated it, like downloaded it because it was on earlier in the BBC. And because I needed to know, it was the episode where they're going to reveal who was in the fucking astronaut suit, right? And I just had to pirate it, and I didn't have a laptop at the time or anything. I had a portable DVD player, so I burnt the episode quickly to a disc so I could watch it on this portable DVD player because I had to go away for 24 hours and I couldn't wait. So like that level of I need to know, I need to watch now, that hasn't like existed in me for a while. So like there is definitely something exciting about bringing back that level of excitement for every episode of Doctor Who. And I don't want to say like, I don't want to make it sound also like I don't like one-off good. I'm totally all for one-off, you know, that's how we get things like the Weeping Angels and stuff like, not what I'm saying. I'm not saying every like Doctor Who's only good when it's like, but I do feel like good background story to Doctor Who and mixed in with one-off Monster of the Week episodes is the success to Doctor Who. And That's not what we've had for a while. So,
not really. I mean, technically we've had it, but not to it. I mean, Flux was an entire thing all season.
Yeah.
And then, we've had the whole timeless child thing kind of floating across.
Yeah, but none of it's been good. So
none of it's been of the standard of the what's come before and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see Yaz and Dan interact with Ncuti Doctor?
No. So, I mean, Yaz, who's actress, I can't remember, sorry, but I think there was a thing the other day that said this is it for her, like she's not coming back, which that adds up totally fine. Dan is a bit like that person, he's like a busy comedian Bishop, or whatever, yeah. Sean Bishop. Yeah. So like they're definitely all done. We're going. You can't do the reboot thing if that's what they're going for, like soft reboot, where it's not actually a reboot, but for audiences, reboot.
Not even in this. Do you think he's going to switch over at the very end of the Centenary episode?
Yeah.
So there'll be no interaction.
No.
Okay.
No.
Disappointing.
No. I reckon it's going to be something where she knows she's going to regenerate, or she has to do something. You get the sad moment with her saying goodbye to you get the sad moment with her saying goodbye to Yaz. They'll make them look at each other. She'll say I love you. They won't kiss, and then she'll leave and regenerate in the TARDIS and do the whole blow up typical thing. And I feel like it's going to be pretty paint by numbers personally, but not say that's bad, but if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, the Tenet's regeneration is still the best one because you can't really just do that. You can't do anything like that again. I mean, the guy was regenerating for literally a week straight, traveling around the fucking world, this universe, saying goodbye to people. So, all right. I'll do it for this special episode of Fish Fingers and Custard. We'll be back. I know I said last time we won't be back, but we were back because they dropped a thing. But back in October.
What if they announced the companions?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe Lou Woods and Connor Swindells.
What a twist that would be. What a twist. It's literally just sex education.
It just turns out sex education was a prequel.
A prequel of the show. It's a Doctor Who, yeah. Secretly, there was a Doctor the entire time. Yeah, he was like a fog watch. Like in his room. It's literally a thing. Yeah. We'll be back in October.
He needs to tell them dirty pigs that they need to wash their hands.
Maybe. We'll see. Back in October for the Centenary special episode, not of Doctor Who, but of the BBC, for Jodie Whittaker's last episode, of course. Subscribe, check out exposurenetwork.com for all our other after show podcast things, related shows that you may or may not watch, but you'll find out by heading on over there. Until next time, stay. I don't know.